Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
A very good evening to you. Coming to you live from the National News Studio. Welcome to the news. My name is Clifford Richards.
I'm Sutami Jayaratna. Now let's take a look at today's headlines.
A new spiritual leader for Iran. Sri Lanka can withstand fluctuations in the world oil prices, says the governor of the central bank. Restructuring process of the Ceylon Electricity Board completed with a mega transformation. Raised Mahapala scholarship allowance of 10,000 rupees from tomorrow. The president meets the most venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera. Former parliamentarian Sajin Vas remanded on allegations of illegal assets worth more than 243 million rupees. A state-of-the-art MRI machine capable of handling artificial intelligence to the Colombo National Hospital. India claims the T20 World Cup title this time as well.
Moving on to those stories and more in detail, Ayatollah Sayyid Mujtaba Khamenei has been appointed as the new Supreme Leader of Iran.
Well, he is a son of the former Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
The selection was made by Iran's Assembly of Experts. It consists of 88 members. The new Supreme Leader was appointed through a decisive vote within the Council. The 56-year-old Mujtaba is set to serve as the leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. This is considered to be the most severe crisis recorded in the country's history since the establishment of the Islamic Republic of Iran in 1979, following the overthrow of the previous ruling system. The new leader was appointed 1 week after the former Supreme Leader was assassinated in a US-Israel airstrike on February 28. Iran's president, along with other top leaders and military, has expressed support for the new Supreme Leader. Mujtaba Khamenei is the second son of former Iranian Supreme Leader. He has never previously contested in an election. However, foreign media reports state that he has been involved in internal politics affairs with Iran's ruling authorities for decades. He is described as a figure who has rarely appeared in public within society. It is also reported that he has not delivered even a Friday religious ceremony in public. Following the announcement of the new leader, Iranian citizens welcomed him with celebratory chants. However, responding to the appointment, President Donald Trump stated that no leader appointed in Iran without the approval of the United States would remain in power for long. Israel has also stated that any Iranian leader appointed after the assassination of Ayatollah Khamenei would be targeted and killed. Due to the clashes have been conducted for 9 days between the two sides, 1,332 Iranian nationals have been killed so far. 13 people have been died in Israel due to Iranian strikes, while the number of deaths reported in Gulf countries stands at 14. According to confirmed reports, 8 American soldiers have been killed. Since the 28th, United States had carried out strikes on more than 3,000 targets in Iran. In response, Iran reportedly launched more than 500 missile attacks and over 2,000 drone strikes targeting Israel sites and 27 military targets located in 12 countries in the Gulf region of the Middle East within the first 4 days alone. Meanwhile, Iran says it possesses enough missiles and drones to continue attacks on Middle Eastern countries for another 6 months. The media spokesman for Iran Revolutionary Guard stated that Iran has so far used only first and second generation missiles. He also said that more advanced and less used long-range missiles would be deployed in the coming days. US President Trump has once again expressed opposition to the proposal of refraining from deploying American ground troops into Iranian territory. He said the war against Iran would continue until victory is achieved. However, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has expressed that Iran will never surrender under any circumstances. Meanwhile, the US Central Command has warned all Iranian residents to remain inside their homes. A statement released by the command claims that the Iranian leadership is deliberately putting innocent lives at risk. Due to the escalating war situation in the Middle East region, fuel prices in global market have risen sharply. The price of a barrel of crude oil has now reached around $110. This marks the first time since the 2022 that the price of a barrel of oil has exceeded the $100 level. There is also a risk that fuel prices could rise further in the coming period. In addition, stock market values in many countries have also experienced a sharp decline.
And back home, the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe, stated that Sri Lanka has what is called the space to withstand the potential fluctuations in the global oil prices. He made these remarks during an interview with the Bloomberg News Service.
prices to inflation as well as the Suprema. So from the inflation point of view, we are right now at a good position where current inflation in the last month was 1.6% compared to 5% the target that central bank has to deliver. There's a significant good space for us to be able to
Minister of Energy, Engineer Kumara Jayakudi, says that the restructuring program of the electricity sector has been completed and that is marking the most gigantic transformation in the recent history. Well, the minister made these remarks addressing the directors and the top officials at the new entities established for the well-being of the power sector. The Ceylon Electricity Board will be terminated from the midnight tonight and will function under 6 new companies, and these state-owned companies are under the purview of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The Ministry of Energy stated that these companies will be maintained in a very transparent manner and committed to provide electricity to consumers at an affordable rate. The restructuring also aims to maintain the electricity sector with high efficiency. Minister Engineer Kumar Jayakudi explained that the government has established 4 primary companies and 2 subsidiary companies, all of which are 100% state-owned, to handle various functions of the electricity service. He emphasized that there have been no fragmentation of the service or the employees' tenure and noted that those who have been chosen on a voluntary retirement have received their compensation and retired. He contrasts the current approach with the previous government plan that aimed to divide the CEB into 12 parts for the sale and also the termination of 12,000 employees, stating that his administration has completely reversed that project. Instead, they have established the state-owned companies to address the current and future structural changes and also the challenges while maintaining full state ownership. He reassured CEB employees that they will receive full existing privileges and rights in the new entities without any reduction. Puvudu Nirosha, the chief of the Electricity Board Transformation Task Force, outlined the 3 main objectives of the ongoing competitive process: increasing efficiency, enhancing transparency and fostering competition. He pointed out that currently approximately 80% of the electricity bill costs are due to high generation expenses resulting from a lack of proper planning and delays in procurement processes. He noted that essential resources like coal and natural gas were not secured on time in the past. Moving forward, he explained that the electricity will be procured through competitive bidding to provide power at an affordable price to consumers. His primary goal is to reduce generation costs, and he expects to lead the lower electricity bills. And also finally, he stated that employees have no reason to fear and all benefits they receive from the CEB as of today will continue to be provided in the same manner starting tomorrow. Well, the Colombo Magistrate Court today ordered to remand former parliamentarian Sajin Vasgunawardena, who was arrested by the Bribery Commission until the 24th of this month. Well, he has been arrested on suspicion of illegally earning assets amounting to over 243 million rupees when the suspect was produced before courts. The Bribery Commission informed that the investigations into this incident has not yet been completed. Considering the facts, the Chief Magistrate of Colombo, Asanga S. Bodragama, ordered the suspect, Sajin Vasgunawardena, to be remanded until the 24th of this month. The Supreme Court today commenced the hearing of the appeals filed by former ministers Mahindananda Alutgamage and Nalin Fernando, who are currently serving prison sentences following a corruption conviction. The proceedings began before a 5-member Supreme Court bench headed by Chief Justice Preeti Padman Surasena. They were accused of causing a loss of nearly 60 million rupees to the government by importing and distributing 14,000 carom boards and 11,000 checkerboards through Satosa. These items were allegedly distributed to the political officers of the then presidential candidate Mahinda Rajapaksa during the 2015 presidential election, and they are serving terms of rigorous imprisonment in connection at present.
President Anurukumara Dissanayake made the chief prelate of Siam Mahanikaya Kotte sector Most Venerable Ittayapani Dharmalanka Thera at the President's office today. The President held a short cordial discussion with the Mahanayaka Thera, and the prelate evoked blessings to the President to carry forward the government activities in successful manner. Venerable Mapalagama Buddha Siri Thera was also present at this occasion.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya leaves for Manila in the Philippines. That was last night on an official tour, and the tour on an invitation extended by the Asian Development Bank, the ADB. She will also participate in the programs conducted on the occasion of the International Women's Day in that country. On arrival at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Manila, she was welcomed by the Sri Lankan ambassador in the Philippines, Dr. Chanaka Talpaheva, and officials of the Philippines government, along with representatives of the Asian Development Bank. She will also deliver the keynote speech on the occasion of the International Women's Day at the Asian Development Bank headquarters in Manila. She will also be holding discussions with several ministers of the Philippines government regarding cooperation between the two countries and the further strengthening bilateral relations.
The Ministry of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development states that the hiked Mahapala scholarship allowance up to 10,000 rupees will be credited to the bank accounts of the students from tomorrow. Steps were taken to implement the monthly Mahapala scholarship allowance for the university students hike as per the 2026 budget from the month of January. Mahapala scholarship allowance has been revised twice from April 2025 to January 2026. Steps were taken under the present government to provide two increments of 2,500 rupees each from 5,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees. Accordingly, the scholarship allowance of 10,000 rupees for the month of January last will be credited to the bank accounts of the students. Chairman of the Mahapala Trust Fund, retired Justice Vijay Mallagoda, says that the fund will be further strengthened in order to provide monetary assistance to the university students of Sri Lanka and to contribute the human resource development of the island.
457 road accidents have been reported this year from 1st of January to yesterday, and accordingly 475 deaths were reported. And also Sri Lanka police say that a strategic plan is now underway to minimize road accidents by 20 to 30% in comparison to the amount last year. Well, according to the police, it has been monitored an increase of 50 road accidents and 56 deaths during the period compared to the same period last year, and thereby a special strategic plan is implemented by the order of the IGP to minimize the number of road accidents. DIG in charge of the traffic control and road safety, WPJ Senadhira, discussed the dangers and consequences of riding a motorcycle without a helmet or a valid license. He emphasized that such actions often lead to fatal outcomes or severe injuries affecting not only the rider but also pedestrians and passengers. He noted that despite these known risks, people continue to violate these laws, which has led to the implementation of strict legal measures, including charges of culpable homicide and attempted culpable homicide as part of the hard law approach to enforcement. He said that these measures are part of a strategic plan aimed at reducing road accidents by 20 to 30% compared to the previous year. Finally, he issued a call to action for the public and also the drivers to be more disciplined and law-abiding on the roads. Well, we take a short break and we'll be back with more local stories shortly.
මේ hot and spicy cricket fun KTM හිස්තනක් සැෂේ පැකට්ටුවේ ඇති අංකය සඳහන් කර 23:43ට SMS කරන්න. රුපියල් මිලියනයක සුපිරි ත්‍යාගයක් සතිපතා රුපියල් 50,000 සහ රුපියල් 25,000 මුදල් තෑගි සහ දිනපතා රීලෝඩ් දිනා ගන්න.
Well, moving on with more local stories, the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, Dr. Nandalal Weerasinghe, stated that Sri Lanka has what he calls the space to withstand the potential fluctuations in the global oil prices. He made these remarks during an interview with Bloomberg News Service.
There's a significant impact through high oil prices to inflation as well as balance of payment. So from the inflation point of view, we are right now at a good position where inflation, current inflation, end of last month was 1.6% compared to 5%, the target that central bank has to deliver. There's a significant good space for us to be able to absorb that kind of price shock into domestic inflation. That's where we are in a much better position. If that prolongs for a longer period, it will have much more adverse impact more than our countries like us, global economy. That's our major concern, and that is going to prolong, especially major areas like petroleum prices, tourism, the cost of freight. The crisis happened, shortage of fuel, everything, because we didn't have foreign exchange to buy the petroleum at any price. This time is different. This time is a global supply chain issue, global supply issue, but we don't have an issue of sufficient foreign exchange available for us to buy petrol or any other important components for us to have an economy going forward.
Well, the state-of-the-art MRI scanning machine equipped with artificial intelligence technology installed at the National Hospital Colombo was added to the patient care services today, and this marks the first time such an advanced MRI machine has been installed in a government hospital. Well, the government has invested over 450 million rupees for the installation of this equipment. The primary objective is to streamline treatment services within the hospital's accident service and neurosurgical unit. Previously, MRI scanners at the Colombo National Hospital had experienced intermittent breakdowns, leading to various difficulties. While those machines have since been repaired, high-tech MRI scanner was installed today as an additional resource. The Minister of Health and Mass Media, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, Secretary of the Ministry, Consultant Physician Dr. Anil Jarsinga and several other officials were attending this event.
According to the Marine Environment Protection Authority, the oil slick at Paralia Beach area, Hikkadua in Galle, has been completely removed. Chairman Samantha Gunasekara of the authority pointed out that further observations are being continued in this concerned beach areas. All slicks were reported at about 20 meters of Paralia Beach area, Hikkadua in Galle. The Marine Environment Protection Authority and the Coast Guard Department jointly swung into action, and steps were taken to clear the oil slick with the participation of a number of other groups. It has been identified that the oil slick of a lubrication oil and not harmful, according to the Marine Environment Protection Authority. Somehow, the authority emphasizes that all necessary technical mediations will be conducted in order to minimize damages to the marine environment. Sri Lankan monk in Malaysia, Venerable K. Vijitathera, celebrated his 50 years of ordinations recently. The first time a Malaysian Sri Lankan monk has completed 50 years of ordination is considered a golden milestone for the Buddhist community in Malaysia. Venerable K. Vijitathera began his ordination 50 years ago at the Bigfield Buddhist Temple in Kuala Lumpur. The Thera was ordinated under late Kirinde Sri Dhammananda Mahathera. On the commemoration of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of the ordination of the K. Vijitathera, Sasana Live and the Sasana Abhivruddhi Vardhana Sangame has organized a number of programs to honor the celebration held at the Brickfield Buddhist Temple in Kuala Lumpur with the participation of devotees and distinguished guests. The celebrations concluded with an alms offering at the temple recently, and the Acting High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to Malaysia, Muhammad Rizvi, and a group of invitees participated at this event. This event is considered as a milestone of Venerable Vijitathera's spiritual journey and enduring values of dedication, service and community.
Venerable Dr. Devata and
1976.
And we are now moving on to more development news items in brief. The development of the road stretch from Alkadu to Wattegama in Matale under the road development program of the government commenced recently under the guidance of the Deputy Minister Gamagidra Dissanayake. A sum of 486 million rupees has been allocated for this project. With the development of the road, a large number of foreign tourists will be benefited who visit the tourist zone of Alkadua Sembuatta. A foundation stone was laid recently to construct housing units for 3 low-income group families of Panama village in Ampara. The value of the housing unit has been fixed at 1 million rupees. Children's park constructed at Kandera village preschool in Bandarala was handed over to the students yesterday at a function led by Chairman of the Bandarala Pradesh Sabha, Sanjeeva Somasiri. A sum of 1 million rupees has spent for this purpose.
The United Nations World Food Programme and the Korean International Cooperation Agency has initiated a 5-year project to support the promotion of the country's Triposha program. Accordingly, a 5-year project titled Sow and Grow was recently launched with a total of valuation of $10 million. The project aims to strengthen Sri Lanka's Triposha program by boosting the production of high-quality local maize and ensuring a reliable supply of Triposha for children under 5 as well as pregnant and breastfeeding mothers. This will support 7,500 farmers in Anuradhapura, Munaragala and Badulla district. Accordingly, Sow and Grow move will be implemented in partnership with Ministry of Rural Development and Community Empowerment, Agriculture, Health, Trade and Finance. This will strengthen the maize value chain with a contribution to the Triposha program to enhance nutrition of mothers and children.
And now a quick check on the weather. Mainly dry weather is expected across most parts of the island today, and according to the Department of Meteorology, however, a few showers are likely in the northern province and also in the Trincomalee district as well. And while evening showers or thunder showers may occur in parts of the Sabaragamu province and also in the Kandy and Norelia districts.
The Colombo Stock Exchange ended today's trading negatively. The all-share price index closed at 21,904.14 after falling by 797.77 points, which represents a 3.51% change. The S&P SL index closed at 6,128.86, down by 231.88 points and 3.65%. Total market capitalization at the close of trading stood at 7.799 trillion rupees. Market turnover for the day amounted to 5.81 billion rupees with 195.11 million shares traded. We'll be back with news overseas after a short break. Welcome back, and moving on to foreign news. At least 6 people have been killed, including a 12-year-old boy, after powerful tornadoes and severe storms swept across parts of the United States. The storm struck the states of Michigan and Oklahoma, leaving widespread damage, injured residents and hundreds without electricity. At least 6 people have died and more than a dozen others were injured after tornadoes ripped through parts of the U.S. states of Michigan and Oklahoma. Authorities say 4 people were injured in southern Michigan when a tornado struck near Union City on Friday. 12 others were injured as powerful winds uprooted trees, brought down power lines and destroyed several homes and large buildings.
Welcome back, and we are heading into the world of sport. Well, Situmi, what a final and what a match it was. India wins the T20 World Cup Cricket Championship for the second time in succession by beating New Zealand in the finals by 96 runs played yesterday.
Tails. And up it goes.
The finals were played at the Narendra Modi International Cricket Stadium in Ahmedabad, India. A large number of spectators were in the stadium to watch the match. New Zealand, winning the toss, invited India to bat first. The Indian innings was opened by Sanju Samson and Abhishek Sharma, who put up a partnership of 98 runs for the first wicket. Abhishek Sharma was out after scoring 52 in 21 balls. Sanju Samson scored a brisk 89 runs for just 46 balls, which included 5 boundaries and 8 sixes. Ishan Kishan scored 54 and Shivam Dubey scored 26 in 8 balls with 3 boundaries and 2 sixes. India put up a total of 255 for the loss of 5 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Well, this has been recorded as the highest total piled up by a team in the finals of the T20 Cricket World Cup tournament. New Zealand, chasing a victory of target of 250 runs, opened their innings. Is New Zealand chasing a victory target of 250 runs, opening their innings with Tim Seifert and Phil Allen. And Phil Allen was out for 9 runs when the total was 31. New Zealand lost their first 5 wickets within 72 runs. And Tim Seifert, top scorer of the innings, scored a half a century with 52. Skipper Mitchell Santner contributed with the 43 runs. New Zealand were able to score just 159 all out in 19 overs. Jasprit Bumrah captured 4 wickets, and while Akshar Patel claimed 3 wickets. Jasprit Bumrah became the player of the match, and Sanju Samson was declared the player of the tournament. Accordingly, India wins the T20 World Cup title, which is their 3rd occasion in the title victory, and earlier they won the T20 World Cup title in 2007 and 2024 respectively.
This is our year.
A moment to savour and remember. Some have done it already, and some it'll be new to them.
In more sports news, former South African cricketer Gary Kristen has been appointed as the head coach of the Sri Lankan cricket team. He will be on this post for 2 years. Sri Lankan cricket official informed the appointment today. Gary Kristen has been appointed to fill the vacancy created with the resignation of Sanath Jayasuriya, who acted as the head coach of the Sri Lankan cricket team. The appointment will be effective from the 15th of April and will end on the 1st of April 2028. Previously, Gary Kristen acted as the head coach of the Indian national cricket team from 2008 to 2011. Under him, in a unique feature, the Indian team won the ODI World Cup in 2011. He has also been the head coach of the South African cricket team from 2011 to 2013. During his tenure, the South African team were the number 1 team in the world in ODIs, T20s and Tests, covering all the 3 formats of the game. That's all for tonight's news. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Good night.